Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have not done a vlog since the end of February, and this is going to be some sort of vlog style video. I feel like I want to change some stuff when it comes to the way I approach vlogging because I'm in a new season of my life and I don't like doing things I don't want to do. One thing about me is I will rebrand. I will leave, I will switch it up and transform. Maybe that's just the Scorpio in me, I don't know. But anyways, I figured we would talk about a few things because I feel like there's a lot to update and a lot to yap about in the sense of moving into a new season. I feel like there's so many of us right now who are ready or itching for the fall rebrand, the locking back in, taking care of ourselves and things like that. And I feel like for me, a journey that I am going to be going on for sure is rebuilding and having a relationship with discipline. And I've always struggled with discipline. I, on one hand, have definitely rebelled against discipline for a while, and like I still carry that rebellious part of me towards that, mainly because I grew up with a father who was insanely strict and very much so a dictator. And a lot of his masculine energy wasn't healthy, truly. And so it's like I learned to not even know how to have a relationship with things such as that like masculine energy of the discipline and structure and boldness and even authenticity. So my relationship with discipline has always looked like doing it out of survival because I've lived a decently hard life. And that does require discipline even if you don't want to do it. But there's that part of me that like never really wanted to do it anyways. And then also I'm doing it so hard so much because I'm in this fight or flight. And then I move into my later 20s and now I'm unraveling all that. I healed from a lot of that. And now, if you guys are new, I am 29, turning 30 in November 5th. And I feel like now in my life, I'm just kind of settling in this, okay, I don't need to burn myself out with discipline, but I also am wise enough to know the benefit of really having discipline or devotion or ritual to certain things in life, like taking care of ourselves. And I think that that's just what happens when you get older. You realize like genuinely your body is your temple, your health is important, your mental health is important, the people you surround yourself with are important. And building a life that is fulfilling is like the goal. And the thing is that is a process and evolution, and it will always be a thing that we're like working on and things like that. So I'm always trying to tell myself that when it comes to working on myself, because you can quickly get into this feeling like life is never finished and you're not finished and you need to be fixed energy when you are working on something in your life. And so I'm just trying to be in life while also honoring myself and working on myself during the seasons of life that call for that. And that's not always going to be all the time. At the beginning of the year, I went through a very deep grieving process of my mom, and I had to really surrender to a lot of things. Like a lot of things didn't matter, and I was also sick and recovering from a flare-up. So during that time, it was very much so healing, couldn't really do much even if I wanted to season. And then a lot of great things came into my life and my life really just lit back up. I feel like because of the work and devotion and things that I was doing that I needed to honor myself during the time of grief and the healing that I did. I got my new dog. Actually, well, I might as well show you him. He's not really new now. For you guys who follow me on Instagram, then you know. This is Theo. He's 8 months now, and he is changed my life and changed my relationship to discipline in a better way actually than I had before, because I feel like when you have to show up for something outside of you that you care about, then you kind of enjoy it, even if it's tough, because discipline can be tough and it can take a lot of work, but I think it's very rewarding, I guess. Anyways, I got Theo, got into a new relationship, and was really just trying to like balance life, getting better at the same time. And then even as summer went on, I was really enjoying it. I'm in a really great, beautiful relationship. If you guys haven't like watched my stuff on Instagram or anything like that, I don't really talk about my relationship that much, or the podcast actually is what I meant. The podcast, which I have a second channel for, I've mentioned multiple times that I am in a new relationship and it's great. So anyways, I'm just saying that because that's kind of what my summer was, and enjoying it and doing a lot of things, cottages and concerts and dinners and like living life again, honestly. And I didn't have that much time to vlog, and I feel like the type of vlogging that is common in this day and age can get like very trendy and the same type of things. And the thing is, it's like, I like that content. I love the clean with me's and the Sunday resets. It takes a lot to be focused on vlogging and then also like being in the moment. And if you guys know me, then you know that I know it's important to regulate your nervous system and to be present in life and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And that involves you not like filming every single thing of your day or constantly thinking about work and, you know, doing 100 things at the same time. And that leads me into the word that I really want to embody this season is authenticity. And I am very authentic. I feel like if you listen to the podcast, then you know, but I feel like more authentic to myself, which means if something is not aligning and something does not feel good, I need to honor that, even if I'm afraid, even if it's uncomfortable because you've been doing something for so long, whatever the case is, it's like you need to just get uncomfortable to be authentic, essentially. But there's just certain things that I used to even vlog, like feeling the need to vlog everything and the B-rolls depending on what I am talking about. It's just like not really calling my name anymore. And it's not to say that I'll never do that, but I just think that if you haven't already picked up the vibe, I'm a yapper. That is my profession. I have a podcast and it works for me because I yap. My boyfriend, he listens, thank God, bless that man, because he has to deal with the yapper, but he likes it. Oh my gosh, the other day, he was telling me how at night, sometimes like, you know, I'm like, he's winding down, he's like falling asleep and I'm like still yapping and I'm like whatever, and he's like fighting for his life, like trying to listen to me. He's like so interested in what I'm saying, but he's like, I gotta sleep. And the other day he texted me and we were talking about that, and he was like, you're lucky you're cute and beautiful and nice and whatever. He was saying all these things, and at the end he was just like, you need to like read the room and wrap up your yap session when I am trying to sleep because I'm tired. It was really funny. I laughed, everyone on Instagram laughed, and honestly he listens to me talk all the time. But anyways, I'm a yapper, and I feel like my best work is when I'm observing myself living life and experiencing ups and downs and then speaking on it so other people can relate. And that means I do a lot of things in private, and then I come out of that thing with that wisdom and then like share it. So I just feel like vlogging everything of my life, it just doesn't really work. It's more like, hey, I just got out of the shower. If you're actually wondering why I'm wearing this, because I didn't say, I just got out of the shower. I just came back from a cottage with some of my friends, and I brought Theo, and honestly it was kind of a headache to have him because he's still such a puppy, but it was nice to allow him to run around and do everything and get his energy out. He literally slept for like 2 days, and today I spent the entire day taking out my braids. So I had braids for the last like month of August because I knew it was going to be busy, and I like a good braid, but honestly it feels so nice to have my no like fake hair and like heaviness or anything in my hair. I just want it nice and clean, which it is. And actually what I did is I went in with this Briogeo Scalp Revival Pre-Wash Oil, and I put it also like on the ends where I'm just like looking to see what my dog is doing. I put this oil in my hairline and just like made sure all the gel and stuff from the edges that I like would swoop up. And then I went into the shower, and I'm gonna show you guys what I use because why not? We're just talking, okay? It's I was gonna say Sunday, but it's actually Monday, but it feels like a Sunday to me because I spent all day taking those freaking braids out. So I use this Pre-Poo by African Pride. I don't really think it does like too much for me because I still need to use a conditioner but that's what I used. And then I went in with this Honey Miracle Hair Mask. Love this, by TGIN. I don't know what that stands for. Thank God it's natural. That's what it stands for. This is great. I've heard a lot of girlies talk about this conditioner. Obviously, I sectioned my hair and I just detangled my hair. I actually use this tangle tweezer. This gives me like the softest brush, like sleek niceness of my hair when I'm using this. So I like this brush probably the most out of all of them. And then I also use the Love Your Curls leave-in conditioner. And then I went over top of it with the Love Your Curls Irish Sea Moss gel. And then I just twisted my hair. My hair is in like little twists right now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really do much. This is for like when I'm not gonna do anything with my hair, and I just let it sit until like the next day. I'll usually leave it in sometimes. This is a great style for me to like grow my hair if I want to like really grow it, which is probably what I'll be focusing on during the winter time. I feel like the summer, when you have curly hair, like it's a second job. It genuinely is. And I'm not even complaining because it is what it is. Sorry, I'm just looking at my dog. Anyways, I forget what I'm saying again. This is what happens when you have a puppy. They just kind of distract you a little bit, which again, not even complaining. It is what it is. Good afternoon. It is the next day. As we can probably tell, another post-shower hair towel situation going on. At this point, you guys are probably never even gonna see my hair. Actually, no, I did take it off in the first clip. Anyways, I wanted to talk about mood boards. I actually just made my mood board, so I wanna show you guys it and talk about really just stepping into a new version of yourself, some of the things that I'm gonna be focusing on, especially when it comes to discipline. I actually wasn't planning on doing my mood board today, but the weather is giving like fall today, and I was supposed to go to the CNE, which is like a fair with my boyfriends this evening, but at the midway point of my day, I started kind of feeling like I'm like coming inwards energy-wise. I don't know if I'm fighting something off. I'm probably not, but my best friend is sick from the cottage, but it's fine. We're not going to speak it anymore into existence. My immune system is fine, but I just kind of wanted to like relax and chill. And I had a video that I was like, ooh, I will film after I work out, this, that. But then I started feeling like this, and I'm only kind of sharing this because I think it's important that we also learn to listen to our bodies as we are going on a journey of implementing more discipline and things like that. And I know it can be hard, but I think we really do things all or nothing when we are trying to implement discipline and, you know, be on routine and stuff. But this morning I did wake up naturally I woke up at 5:55, which is so perfect. And I made sure to get to sleep at like 9:30 last night, which is why I kind of just like cut the video short, because I was honestly so freaking tired and I was getting a headache. But I went to sleep early. I've actually been using my Hatch alarm. I just recently got it, and guys, it really does. Like, it really is changing my life. I think mainly because there is something about having a regular alarm clock again that is not attached to my phone, because like that damn phone at night and in the morning, like genuinely, it, even if you go on it for like 10 minutes, just a little bit, like it just does not serve you. And I'm really trying to break that habit. I'm not someone who sits and scrolls for like 30 minutes or anything like that, but it's just, I really am trying to get up and get out of my bed and get my energy moving. And same with going to sleep. I really don't want to be looking at that damn thing. And I've been wanting the Hatch alarm forever. This is not an ad, but might as well be one. I've been wanting it forever. I finally just pulled the plug and said, you know what, let me just get it. The main reason why I wanted to get it though is because it has a white noise feature, and I always use white noise at night. I have like a little tablet, but sometimes it stops in the middle of the night if the Wi-Fi is off, and it's just really annoying, and it projects this light that's just actually really annoying. So I'm just gonna leave that at my boyfriend's house because I like to play that at his place as well, and he's acclimated just fine. The guy can fall asleep in 3 seconds. Must be nice. I feel like most guys can just fall asleep like a rock and stay asleep, and then us girls are over here like yeah, it's just a lot. Anyways, it's been helping me so much and waking me up in the morning like so beautifully. But this morning I woke up before it. And anyways, I got a really good sleep. I walked Theo. I always do that in the morning. Sometimes I will eat before I walk him because sometimes he still goes to the washroom in the middle of the night. Like he has one section in my place now where it's the pee pad. I'm trying to get him off of it, but I mean, at the end of the day, this dog still pees a lot because he's still a puppy. And so once a night, usually we'll get up and go pee. And so if it's closer to when I am waking up, sometimes he's still sleeping, like literally a baby. And that's what he was doing this morning. So I will take some supplements and I will have breakfast. That's another thing. Actually, it's not like really a huge breakfast. It's just something small, but I have made that a habit to no longer, we're not doing coffee before breakfast. It's just ridiculous. It messes up your appetite. Like you got to go through the period of you not having an appetite if you're going to change that habit, but just know that like after like a week, you will start to have those hunger cues come back. But I just try and have usually like one egg, a little bit of turkey bacon on a piece of toast. Like I'm very simple with that. And it takes me 3 seconds to fry an egg. So that's what I usually do. And then by the time I'm done eating, I will go on a really early morning walk with him. Living in the city, listen, it's okay, but he gets really like reactive and like overstimulated from cars and trucks and things like that, which is normal, especially for a puppy. And so I really love to take him out like early in the morning and obviously like midday and like later in the night when people aren't around as much, but that's just what it is. But thankfully I bring him to a neighborhood area where it's really, really quiet and it's just so peaceful for myself as well. So I do that every single morning. I don't even play a podcast or anything. It's really hard to listen to a podcast as you're walking your dog. If any dog owners are out there, then you probably know it's just like better to just not, or even like trying to go on your phone doesn't work, at least for when you're trying to train a dog. And then when I come in, I like to feed him. And then that's when I usually will have my coffee. I will journal. That's basically like my morning routine. I'm journaling, I'm making sure I'm having my coffee, some food, yada yada. And then I kind of go into my work day. Like usually I'll write up what I want to talk about on my podcast, which is what I did this morning, and any other work, emails, things like that, just random stuff, brand stuff that I usually do. And then that brings me to around like 9ish to 10ish. Today was a little bit later because I was talking to my boyfriend on the phone, but we had a good conversation. And then I go to the gym. I've been making that a habit. Like that's like a new version of me that I really want to just really, I hate using the word lock in, but whatever, lock in to going to the gym consistently Monday to Friday. Like I just want to be more in a routine. Like I just like the waking up at 6 a.m. and, you know, doing my thing with my dog and eating and moving my body. Like I crave that. I crave structure, and every day's a little different, which is nice to release a little bit of that like hard discipline. And I'm not super strict on myself because I know not every single day is the exact same, but to do that just makes me feel really good and it starts my day off correctly. Right now I'm using Ladder, which I did work with them on a previous YouTube video, but I love their workouts. It's so easy to just get into the gym and then just like put on that workout, and I can play my music through Spotify on the app, and it's so nice. It's just like so efficient. I get a good workout in, so that's what I'm basically doing. Weightlifting and cardio essentially. After my workout, I actually just ended up basically finishing my reset because I felt like I don't know if you guys get like this, but like your mind is all over the place when your environment is not the way it needs to be. Or for me, like I didn't have much to meal prep, and I feel like when I don't have like the proper food in my place to meal prep, or I don't have food meal prepped, I feel like I'm just like eating a bunch of random shit, or I have nothing. Like I'm not fueled correctly. My environment is not clean. I hate it. And so I was going to like get ready and then talk to you guys now when I was getting ready and then do my podcast, kind of move into the workflow like that. But I was so scatterbrained from all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do any work yet. Let me just zone in and get disciplined, which is why sometimes I don't like filming like my workout and my morning routine. Not to say that I won't ever do that. And sorry, Theo's just like playing around with my hair ties and stuff. But it's because I really just like to lock in and focus on one thing. Because if I feel like my mind is all over the place, I'm focusing on the camera, focusing on this, I just never feel like I've finished and completed something. It's very interesting. Not all the time I'm like that, but sometimes in my different phases of my cycle as well, I feel like I'm very scatterbrained when it comes to that. But anyways, cleaned up, very happy I did that. I also meal prepped Theo's food for anyone interested. I feed him kibble from Open Farm. We actually have like an ambassadorship going on Instagram, which is like, gotta get them working young. Anyways, he really likes that brand. I like that brand because it's very clean ingredients, ethically sourced, just great products, all of them, to be honest. But he is a king, okay? And this dog will not eat his kibble on his own anymore, mainly because I've trained him that way. Because what I do is I make these little toppers for him and I mix it into his food just so he can have some like actual real nutrients outside of kibble, even though I know this kibble is actually really great. So I usually meal prep for him every week. Like I'll get like a pack of bison or ground beef or even chicken, and I will steam some sweet potatoes and then I just mash it all together and I make these little balls, and then every time I feed him I will mix his kibble in that and then he eats it like right away. And sometimes I mix some bone broth in it. I also have a discount code if you're interested for the Open Farm situation. But anyways, I did that and I feel very accomplished because now I have his food made. Well, I got the things that I need for food. I didn't really eat much today, but that's fine. I just had like a snack plate. I've been super into snack plates lately. I've been getting these grass-fed beef sticks from Costco, some Baby Bell cheese, these Mary crackers. I've just been having that with like a side of grapes or peaches when I'm feeling like an in-between of wanting to eat something. I'm just super obsessed with that. But my boyfriend's actually gonna be coming over and we're gonna just order ramen because I feel like tonight ramen is gonna hit. But anyways, that leads me to here. I actually had a little bit of a nap because I wasn't feeling best. And you know what? I just have to let my body rest. That's what it needs. I feel like we don't do a good job at listening to our bodies, and this is where the toxic discipline can come in. I don't think that we are robots. I think we are human, and sometimes our bodies are calling to do one thing versus the other. Same thing happens creatively. So anyways, let's talk about the mood board I just made. And Theo is kind of in trouble because he was biting me, so he might just sit up there. I've told him that he's bad, so we'll see if he stays. All right, so I'm just gonna pop up my mood board that I made for the fall season. I love it. It's definitely giving fall-esque, and I want to talk about it and like how you can even create your own, and like how I do this every single season. I basically am always doing this every single season. I really do like to mix the experiences that I want to experience in the new season along with some of my goals and the things that I'm trying to become, or the person that I'm trying to become. And actually what I did this morning is I had a journal practice, and I think you should do this too if you want to make a mood board and it actually kind of be more of a vision board. And I just really thought about the version of me that I want to become in this new season. And for me, it's very much so. I am entering my 30s, so I feel like there's a lot of things that are just becoming even more important than they ever were before to my life, like my health and my relationships and friendships and where I spend my time, and really just learning to live in the present moment as well. Like really experience life, meaning celebrating your birthday seriously, seeing certain friends that you have built connections with seriously, taking your boundaries very seriously, being somebody who pours into their health and their wellness because you know what that feels like, and it feels good to do these things. It feels good to be this person than to half-ass life and sit around and say you're gonna do something but not take the action. And this all really comes down to living a life that you actually are feeling into. And I feel like you need to be awake and you need to be tapped into your emotions, and you need to have a relationship with yourself if you really want to experience life and feel things and be happy and be grateful and be excited for life and want to even have that energy to go out and do the things that you really want to do in life. I'm not sure if I also mentioned this, but I really like to think about the consequences of my own actions or choices when I'm moving through life. I think that's really helped me implement natural discipline, is taking a second and always reminding myself of how I'm going to feel after I take an action. And that is both positive and negative. It doesn't need to be like just the negative stuff. Like, we kind of also know that, but we don't take a second to think about that and really slow things down. But I do my best to really play out what the next result will be if I do X. And same thing with when I feel good. Like, I think about every time I don't want to go to the gym, but I just think about the domino effect that that has on my life and what that makes me feel like when I do go to the gym. And I also remind myself of how shitty I feel when I don't go to the gym in terms of like my mental health and the spirals and the stuck energy and the feeling like I'm not motivated or productive with my day. And I think in my 20s, I've been really good at telling myself like, oh, like, you don't need to go because it's not like we have any like significant workout goals, and I am strong and I am pretty consistent. But I think as I get older, there's just so many more reasons and a case for why I want to take care of my body by moving it. And also like having good sleep. I feel like the more fulfilling your life also gets, the more you want to be ready for it. And the only way I'm going to be ready for that is if I'm having good sleep, if I'm fueling my body, if I'm thinking good thoughts about myself, if I'm dedicating my time and my effort into my purpose and what I am here to do in life, instead of listening and watching and being confused or distracted by things on your phone. That's like a huge thing for me. I also think the reason why it's important to do like mood boards and thinking about goals and accomplishments and things like that is because naturally you just kind of fall off of some things, like you forget things and or you just get busy. Like, life is gonna pull you in certain directions more than others. But I think new seasons are great for the mere fact that we can kind of pull our attention to something and get a little bit more tunnel vision. And to me, it just feels really exciting. So on my mood board, in one of the corners, I have a bed. Genuinely, this just signals the cozy vibes and the night routines of fall and winter time. And I really do want to keep working on that and enjoying my night routines and craving them more and enjoying them more and not procrastinating them. This bed also signals to me of wanting a new one, because I really do want a new bed. I really want a king size bed. My boyfriend has one and it's unreal, and it is nice to have that if he is here as well. But genuinely, like, I've had this bed for a long time and it's not what I need for my back support anymore. And I just want to switch up like the vibes in my room. Like, I want more of a cozier feel, like a more elevated cozy feel. So we'll see. Like, it's not like a top priority, but regardless, I want to enjoy, even if I keep this bed and everything stays the same, very much so cozy night routines. That's going to be very big this season. The next photo is a girl and a guy just walking down the streets of who knows where. This just really gets me excited for fall things, whether it's with my boyfriend or with my friends. But I love a good fall day. Like, oh my God, like a Saturday when you wake up. Okay, you wake up, you have your coffee, you maybe watching your like favorite YouTuber, you're doing your little workout, whatever it is that you're doing, and then you're going out in the town and you're going thrifting, maybe you're going to a cute coffee shop. Like, it is one of my favorite pastimes, genuinely. Or going to a market. I love a good market. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so that's just, you know, living life, you know, every season there's something fun you can do. And I'm just trying to really embrace that. The next one is a hatch alarm. That signals sleep for me. Like, sleep, we're doing it. I love when I'm in a good sleep routine, going to sleep early, waking up early, and waking up and just for myself, you know, like doing my morning routine and locking in on that, and waking up when half the world I feel like is asleep. It just feels so good, especially in the fall time. Next girl, and mind you, I don't necessarily love always having like people on my mood boards, but I think she fits the vibe so perfectly, and she's just in the gym and she's clearly killing it. She looks great, and that's what I want to be. I want to embody that version of me who I have many seasons of my life when I'm like that, and this is the season. Last season, I was actually going into a season of sickness, unfortunately, and I was doing my best to take care of myself, but I was having a flare up and I didn't necessarily get to take on that season, so I'm really hoping that I can do that this year. The next one is just a simple coffee cozy vibe. Like, this is like a pumpkin mug, which I will be getting a new mug. I absolutely will, but that just, to me, there's nothing better than a cup of coffee. Like, I know like sometimes like caffeine's like not that good for you, but for me, I really love it. But I just do my best to balance it out with like making sure I'm eating food now and not relying on it too much and pushing it into the day a little bit later, like things like that. And I also just try not to demonize everything all the time. I feel like when we demonize something or we demonize a habit, it makes it bigger than it needs to be, genuinely. Do you know, one of my first jobs was working at Tim Hortons, and people would come through the drive-thru ordering extra large triple triples, or even like 4 sugar, 4 cream. A triple triple is 3 cream, 3 sugar, and that is based off of the large cup. That is like literally half a cup. I used to stir it, and it's like literally half a cup of freaking sugar and cream, and people would drink that every day, sometimes twice a day. So I'm gonna be okay to have my little French press at home, and I have my A2 milk, I have my grass-fed cream, I have my raw honey, I even put collagen powder in it, so like we're fine. You know what I mean? Next photo is 2 dinners. Actually, don't really care about the wine being there, but whatever, I really love that photo. And this just signals lots of home-cooked meals. I am so excited to make not even like fall themed foods, because I'm very like whole foods at the end of the day. I'm not gonna make insane like random like pumpkin this and that, but I love home cooked meals, and meal prepping has been something I've been really trying to focus on. And honestly, I think I did a good job at that, even through the chaos of summer, of doing so many things all the time and seeing my boyfriend and doing here and there. And like I'm stay at his place sometimes, and he takes me out to dinner and all these things. But I just know I'll be a lot better with that even during the winter time, and also just even having like date nights and stuff. The next photo is a vanity, and honestly, that just signals a lot of self-care and slowing things down for me, whether that's doing my makeup and I'm going out with my girls, or date night, but even just doing my hair and really taking time. I feel like winter, like fall and winter, is such a good time to really pour into yourself, because you have a lot more time. Like, you're not really wanting to go out and do a bunch of like crazy things the way you did in the summertime, when the sun might not be out and it might be really cold. Next is a girl just writing. This signals to me a lot of work and me being on purpose. I am working on my journal series. I'm sure I'll have other projects coming out. I have a lot of things that I'm working on, and also I'm currently taking a course right now for peer support when it comes to addictions, and that's not something I even know what I'm doing with. I just was really interested in doing it, and given the fact that I was a child of an addict, and I am very interested in the mind of an addict. I've seen it. I've also struggled with addiction as well in my life, but not to a high scale, like actual like hard drugs. I think everyone does, whether it's caffeine, phone addictions, food. I had a really unhealthy relationship with food, drinking and partying, and toxic people, places, and things. There's so many things. And that's what a lot of my work is, and that's what a lot of my podcast is as well, is like going through that, and a lot of other things. But anyways, that's what that signals to me. And then I have a girl, and she's blowing out a cake that I really like. It's really cute, and it so happened to be, I'm pretty sure that says 30, like the number 30, and I'm turning 30, and I think that that photo and that girl really emulates the energy and the vibrancy that I am trying to, not even trying to, because I am, but continue to be, and the vibes that I want to bring into my 30th year. And I have a lot of other things that I have planned. I would like to do a rebrand for the podcast as well, but I don't have any plans for that yet, but I would like to potentially do that. But it's just a really big signifying year for me. This past year already has been. If you know, then you really, really know. And I'm really excited, and I want to invite that in, and I want to like be here with it, and I don't want to let life just like pass me by. But in order for me to experience life, I'm gonna need to plant the seeds. I'm gonna need to really focus. I'm going to need to show up for myself. And the last thing that I put in the middle of my mood board is slow seasons are for planting seeds. And I think that if you are kind of a little bit doomed and gloomed with the fact that we're moving into a new season, don't be. This is a great time for you to really water yourself and plant the seeds the way maybe you didn't in the summer. And that's fine, because summer is summer. Whatever that looked like for you. That was a season, now this is a new season that we're moving into. Unless you live in like Australia, then you're technically like going backwards. You're going into summer right now, but whatever. It's all good. Anyways, what I like to do is I like to go on Pinterest, and if you want to follow on Pinterest, you can. Alicia Gogan, it'll be all linked down below. And I think about the person I want to be. Sometimes I'm journaling, writing things down, like goals that I have in mind. For the most part, I've been working on a lot of these habits, so I don't need to necessarily write them out anywhere right now. But I actually did do my schedule this morning, and I like looked at my calendar for September and October because I have a lot of things that are going on. So I made sure to write out everything so that I can get locked in. And actually another like goal of mine is to get back on using my planner, because I don't know, I know that I'm not the only one. In the summertime, my planner goes out the window. Like I barely used my planner this summer because life was lifing and I didn't really like need to like use it, but I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish, so that's definitely gonna be back into like a part of my routine, is using my planner. You can use some of your goals, some of your ideas, and then search it up on Pinterest. Now, what I like to do is I'll even create like secret boards sometimes when I'm having this like feeling and this urge of like a new season of life that I'm entering. And so I made a autumn rebrand mood board that I started pinning things in like 2 weeks ago. And then I also thought about the things that I wanted to accomplish and become this season, and then I just either use those photos aesthetically, or I just typed in like gym girl dark aesthetic, or like cozy aesthetic, or like bed cozy aesthetic, or date night in cozy. Like I kind of usually typically will write like cozy or dark or bright, depending on the mood and the vibes that I want, or even brown or self-care girl. You can also even write your ethnicity, by the way. Like you can write anything, like black girl self-care, or mixed girl self-care, or 4C hair, like curly hair things. I was gonna say routine, but you know what I mean? There's literally everything on there. So what I'll do is I will link this Canva template so that when you click it, you can just like make your own template, and you just have to change the photos and put your own in if you want, just for free. Like I always make the same one essentially. And then I just put it on my desktop, and I like to look at it, and I love it already, and I can't wait to see your guys's, because I know you guys tag me on Instagram sometimes and you show me what you have made, and I would love to see it. I just love the community energy, the we're all doing it together, the vlogging, all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely happy to be doing more of a vlog style like video vibe. I'm definitely just going to make these videos when I feel more called to. Sometimes it's gonna be just literally all chatting, and sometimes maybe I'll get the energy to want to like film my workout and this, that. It's just, again, like I told you guys, sometimes I'm just so locked in that I just like, I can't be bothered to film like every clip, because like when you see vloggers wake up in the morning and they're making their beds and stuff, like they have to get up and turn on the camera and put it somewhere in this, that. And it actually doesn't take that long. Like it really doesn't. Like I'm not even trying to complain about that, because that's an easy life. But to me, there's just something about like, I just want to lock in a little bit and things like that. So with that said, I think that'll be everything for this video. I definitely want to continue documenting my journey and my thoughts and the things that I go through when it comes to working on my relationship with discipline, and also like doing it with you guys, and also just living life and really just entering a new season. I'm always very back and forth with what I want to share when it comes to vlogs, mainly because I could film everything or I could film nothing, and some things are more deeper and more important than others. So then sometimes I'm like, do I really film like, I don't know, like me doing a fall day on the weekend? Like no, not really necessary. But then sometimes I have like things that I want to chat about as I'm getting ready when I then go to the thing that like I feel like it's fun to do that sometimes. So I don't know. Let me know what you're interested in. And I think that will be it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.